Rating: no fewer than 25 Bafta and Oscar nominations underline the need to see Guillermo del Toro's period fantasy The Shape of Water. But sometimes films can acquire an award's momentum quite out of proportion to their actual quality. Not this one. I predicted Academy Awards galore as soon as I saw it at the Venice Film Festival last September. And a more recent viewing has reinforced my conviction that The Shape of Water is the most deserving contender from this year's notably impressive clutch of Best Picture nominees. I also think it is the great Mexican director's masterpiece, nudging aside even his 2006 triumph Pan's Labyrinth. It seems unlikely that its star, Sally Hawkins, will pip Frances McDormand, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, to the Best Actress award when the Oscars are dished out next month. But there should be no argument if she does. It is unequivocally a performance worthy of Rhapsodies. Moreover, if ever 3 consecutive films showcased an actress's versatility, it is the latest trio on the Londoners' CV, the gloomy Maudie, the delightful Paddington 2, and now this singular, beguiling treat. In the period drama Maudie she played an artist in mid-20th century Nova Scotia who was blighted by galloping arthritis. Despite its gloom, the film's humanity, and that of her character, shone from the slow, bright smile that Hawkins seems able to turn on in increments. In The Shape of Water, which is set in 1962 at the height of the Cold War, she's at it again. She plays Elisa, who has been mute since childhood, and communicates not just with sign language but also a raft of wonderfully articulate expressions. Lots of things make Elisa happy. She loves the movies, loves copying dance steps from the television. And in a platonic way she loves her neighbor Giles, Richard Jenkins, also marvelous, an aging commercial artist whose career, it is hinted, has been derailed by his homosexuality. Elisa herself is single, but Del Toro leaves us in no doubt, with a series of shots of her in the bath, that she is a sensual, sexual being. She works as a cleaner at a government facility in Baltimore, where one day a highly sensitive asset arrives to be housed. Half man, half fish, but wholly monstrous, and played behind layers of fishy prosthetics by Doug Jones. It has been found in the Amazon basin where it was worshipped as a god, and dragged back to the US in the hope that its amphibious powers might be of some use against the Soviets. It is chained up and kept in a water tank where its captor, a government agent called Strickland, Michael Shannon, treats it brutally. Indeed, it soon becomes clear that the real monster here is Strickland. He wants the asset to be slaughtered and cut open to reveal its anatomical secrets. But by now, Elisa has bonded with a creature who, like her, lacks the power of speech. She hatches a plan to steal the fishman, unaware that there is a Soviet spy in the building, planning to do exactly the same thing. Del Toro very cleverly keeps all this racing along with the heart-pumping intensity of a Cold War thriller. But it is also an unconventional yet irresistible love story, as well as a meticulous depiction of the era. Anyone who saw the TV drama Mad Men, for instance, will see in Strickland, as he goes home each night to his loving, materialistic wife and 2 carefully groomed children, more than a glimmer of John Hamm's Don Draper. None of this, however, unfolds at the expense of the story's wildly fantastical elements, stunningly shot by cinematographer Dan Laustsen who, as a Dane, might appreciate the Hans Christian Andersen flourishes. There are echoes of King Kong, too, and even more obviously, of the 1954 cult classic Creature from the Black Lagoon, to which Del Toro, a film nut since boyhood, is unmistakably paying homage. At first I wondered whether this strange, powerful creature might also be a metaphor for the atomic bomb. But if anything, it represents the notion, always a welcome impulse in Trump's America, that we should not rush to judgment on those who look different from ourselves. When Elisa does finally manage to spirit the creature out of Strickland's dastardly clutches, one of cinema's more unusual couplings ensues. It really is hard to overstate how good Hawkins is in this role. Speech is an actor's most potent weapon. But she gives a masterclass in how to move and charm an audience without it. Of course, she also gets superb support. Shannon, such a charismatic performer, is as brilliant as ever as the cruel Strickland. The always reliable Octavia Spencer is terrific, too, as Elise's trusted workmate, Zelda. And Jenkins richly deserves his Oscar nomination as Best Supporting Actor. But in the highly unlikely event of The Shape of Water winning only a brace of Academy Awards, I hope it is for Best Director and Best Picture.